In this video, I'm going to talk about congruency with regards to line segments and angles. So we introduced congruency, and it was essentially a special word we used to talk about geometrical figures, geometrical objects. We don't say that they're equal because they're not. We only say numbers are equal, the quantities are equal. So what we're going to do is for different shapes as we go along, we're going to define what we mean when we say that they're congruent. Okay? The spirit of our definitions is going to be that we're going to try to specify how to check that the shape and the size are the same. Basically, that's what we mean when we say that two geometrical objects are congruent. The shape and both the shape and the size are the same. All right? Now, how you check that could be different for different shapes. Okay, so with line segments, you simply measure the length, and if the length quantities are the same, that's how we say that line segments are the same. For angles, you measure the size of the opening. Okay, if the size of the opening is the same, then we say that angles are congruent. All right. So let's summarize that right now. So line segments are congruent if they have the same length. Angles are congruent if they have the same measure. Measure, remember, is what we call when you see how many degrees the angle, the opening is, the size of the angle. All right. Now, let's use what we know about logic and proofs. Let's see if we could prove that in a certain situation we have congruent angles. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to talk about a situation where you have two lines that cross, two line segments. Lines are line segments, and as you can see, you form four angles. Let's call the angles A, B, C, and D. All right. So when you have that situation, and when the angles are across from each other, those are called vertical angle pairs. So angle A and angle C are a vertical angle pair. Okay, likewise, angle B and angle D are a vertical angle pair. So basically, it's like you draw like the letter X, and if the angles are across from each other. Okay? Now, let's see if we can prove. So here's the challenge. And you might want to pause the video and try this for yourself if you're daring. But here's what I want to do. Prove that vertical angle pairs are always, that's right, always congruent. Okay, think about that, and I'll tell you in a few seconds how I would do that. Okay, so here's how I would prove that. And remember, proofs can be as formal or as informal as you like. It depends if you're presenting it to someone else or you're just convincing yourself. Okay. We know that angle A plus angle B, that's equal to a straight angle. Right? And we know that straight angles are 180 degrees. Okay, we also know that angle C plus angle B, that's also equal to a straight angle, which, of course, straight angles are always 180 degrees. Okay, so apparently, look at this. The measure of angle A, I'm going to isolate angle A in the first blue expression. Angle A the size of that is 180 minus the measure of angle B. So I just moved the angle B to the other side of the equal sign. Okay? Angle C is equal to, looking at the second blue equation, that's 180 minus the measure of angle B. Alright, so check it out. The measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle C. Okay, but didn't we just say that that was the criterion for angles being congruent? Okay, so therefore angle A and angle C are congruent. Okay, so that's a very nice proof, and that'll always be true. And in the future, we are going to use vertical angles to establish other true statements, and so you'll want to remember that when you have vertical angles that they are congruent. All right.